Hello and welcome to another video on MVC application where we connect our MVC application to a database. So I have this application that is currently connected to my local database. So for this video, as the title suggests, we're going to connect the same application to a database that we created on the Azure platform. Right, so this is the application functioning at the moment. So I'm just gonna close this, and then on my application, I will just open the app settings.json. Now at the moment I have a connection string, local DB, and this is my connection string. So what I will do, I'll just use the same script that I used to create this database on my local DB and create the same data on my Azure database. So let me flip to my Azure portal and do the demo on how you create a database there. Alright, so I'm on my Azure platform. So I'm going to create the database and connect my application to that database. So at the moment, I don't have any resources. So what I will do, I'll go ahead and create a resource. And just to mention, this is just for demo purposes. Since I'm on my own account, I will just delete whatever resource that I don't need at the end of the video. But for a demonstration, you can follow the steps. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and create a resource. I will select SQL database. Right now, on this section, that's where you might have an existing subscription or a free subscription. That's fine. And at the moment, like I said, I don't have any resources. I'll just create a resource group for my resources. So I'm gonna go ahead and say create new. I don't have any. Create new. I'll just say web apps, something like that. Right, and then the next step is to create the name of the database. I will still use the same. I'll just say student DB. Okay, that's fine. I don't have any server, so I'll go ahead and create a server. Right, so okay, it's fine. And the location, you can leave it as default. So for the authentication, I will opt for use SQL authentication. So I will have to provide the username and password for my database or for my server. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and type my credentials. Right, so those are my credentials. I'll hit OK. Right, and I have the server. I'm not going to use elastic pools. This is just I'm going to use this database to store data, and it's for a small application. So the next thing that I will need to configure is the compute and storage. So like I said, this is just a small database that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and configure database, right? And you will see if you skip this step and maybe you forget to delete your resources, you can see the amount that you will have to pay to Microsoft. So I will go to the service tier, and the second option or the third option from the bottom, the basic. I'm going to select basic, and now you'll see that will be a significant drop of the amount, and I'll say apply. Then for backup storage redundancy, I will choose locally. Right. Then I'll go to the next step, networking. And on the network connectivity, the connectivity method, I'll set that to public endpoints. I want to access this database from any IP address. Then I'm going to set the firewall rules. So allow Azure services and resources to access this server. That will be yes at the current line IP address. So whichever machine you're connecting to, you will add the IP address of that machine. Then the connection policy, I will leave that as default. And I think that's all we need here. And some of the stuff, if you really want to go deep into it, I mean, this is just the basic database. So, okay, this I'll leave everything as default here. I don't need any additional settings or tags. Then I'm just going to go to review and create. As you can see, if it happens that I don't delete this resource, this will be the amount that I'll have to pay. And I'll go to create. So let's wait for it to check, validate, and start the deployment. Okay, the deployment is completed without any errors. So I will go to the resource. Right. And then at the moment, I don't have any tables on my database. So what I will do, on the left pane, I will go to the query editor, so I can create my tables there. Right, so it will ask me to log in. So remember, I didn't configure the Active Directory authentication, so I'm not going to use that one. I will just use my right. So this is a new query editor or a new query window. You can create tables from here. So what I'll do, I'll just get the script that has the same tables that exists in my local database that is currently connected to my MVC application. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that script. Alright, so this is my script. So I'm just going to copy all. Then I'll paste it here. And I just have to remove the create database part because the database already exists. Right, so this is the script. So I'm just gonna click run. Alright, and then let me refresh. And then if I go to tables, I have my tables, and then I'll just go to new query and select all from students. Right, so here's my data. Right, so the next thing that I need to do is to connect the same database that I've created here with my MVC application. Alright, so to do that, still on the overview of your database, we'll go to connection strings. So there's a section for connection strings under settings. And then I'll say okay. Right, so I will be using ADO.NET and the rest your Java, Oracle, PHP. So I'm going to, so you have two types of connection strings. You have the one that uses, I think, the Active Directory, and the one that uses SQL authentication. So I opt for the SQL authentication. So I'm going to select this one. So what I will do, or what I need to do, is I copy this connection string. One thing that I need to specify is the password. As you can see, they say password equals to, and it's actually inside your curly brace. That's where you provide your password. So I'm going to copy this. Let me paste this. I can even go to my Visual Studio Code. So I'll paste my connection string, and here's my connection string, and I'll have to change the password here. Right, so yeah, so I'll have to provide my password here. So I will quickly do that and copy my connection string. Alright, so after you change your password or type in your password, so you can copy that connection string. So I'll copy it, and now I'll go to my MVC application. Now on the connection string sections inside the app settings.json, that's where I will specify my connection string. So I'm not going to remove this one. I will just create another connection string. So I'll say comma at the end of the first connection string, and then specify another connection string. So I'll say remote, or let's say Azure DB Connect, and then colon, and then this is where I paste my connection string. So I'm going to paste that. I see something went wrong there. So let me just make sure I copy the correct format. Okay. Alright, sure. That was painful. I think it should be okay now. And so I'm just gonna change the connection string name. Okay. Let me go to my DB layer class, and this is where I have my connection string. So instead of local DB connect, I will copy the Azure DB connect. Okay, the Azure DB connect. Okay, let me run this application and see if everything is okay, if it will connect and actually show me the data. So I'm gonna run the application and see if I can be able to view the data. Right, so here we have data, and at the moment our application has connected to the Azure database. Right, so I can close this, and if you want to manage your database on SQL Server, I'm gonna go to my Azure platform. So on the overview I can get the server name, so I'll copy that and then go to my SQL Management Studio. So I'm on my SQL Management Studio. So where it says server name, I'm going to paste the server name and I'm going to select the SQL authentication. So SQL Server authentication and username and password. Right, and then connect. Alright, at the moment I have connected to my Azure database, and here's my database. And if I right click and open a query, I want to new query. Alright, so select, I know I have a table called students, so execute that. There you go. Right, so this is how you can create a database on Azure and connect it to your MVC application, and as a bonus to also connect it or manage it using your SQL management studio, SQL server management studio. I hope this video really helped, and thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Thank you.